Hello guys, and welcome to the next video in my Citroen Relay van build series, and today we are tackling the swivel seats. After doing some research online like we all do, there seem to be three main manufacturers of swivel seat that are the most common and popular, and that's CTA, Sportscraft and Fasp. Now, I looked at several videos on the CTA swivel seat, and that does seem a very popular one. Maybe because it's the cheapest, I don't know, but a very common theme throughout a lot of these videos where it was very stiff and tight to turn and rotate. So I didn't like the idea of that very much. The Sportscraft and the Fasp, however, do seem to run more freely. I don't have experience of this yet because they're still in the boxes by the side of me here. But what I've decided to do is go for one Sportscraft and one Fasp seat. The reason being is one of them is offset slightly, so the passenger seat, when you swivel it round, brings it in closer to the centre of the van, so it's easier to reach the table. So let's unbox these and see what we've got. They both come in just plain brown cardboard boxes, so I don't even know at this stage which one is which. So let's just open the top one and see what we've got. Okay, so the first one here is the Fasp seat, which is the one where the swivel point is in the middle. So this is for the driver side. So when we've mounted this, it will spin directly on its axis, and the lever at the front here you pull up and then you can swivel it round. Right, that's going to be for the driver seat. Let's have a look at the one for the passenger seat. Okay, so by process of elimination, this should be the Sportscraft seat. So in here again we have a bag of fixings and some instructions, which are quite nice, which are all in German. Lovely, right? Okay, this immediately of the two does seem to be the better quality one. It's got a nicer finish to it, and it's certainly a lot heavier as well. Yeah, so that's going to be the right way up. This is just like a spring clip for the lever. So you pull the lever up and then the seat will rotate. And even just with it on my lap, I'm able to do that very, very easily indeed. And as you can see, the mounting point is offset to the side. So while it's sat like this, it's all fairly level. But when I rotate that round, it's offsetting this side by a good 7-8 centimeters or so. So the seat is going to move closer to the middle of the vehicle, which is actually perfect and exactly what I want. Okay, so we're tackling the passenger seat first. Young Harry here is just removing the Torx bolts. There's 6 altogether, 1 at the front and 2 at the back each side. And it's a T40 Torx bit, which we've got in the end of a ratchet here. So the Sportscraft seat for the passenger side, it comes with 2 different types of bolt fixings. It's not obvious immediately which one does which, and the instructions here are all in German. There's plenty of instructions. If only I could read it, that would be fantastic. Even the pictures here don't help an awful lot with which bolt is for which. So we'll just do that using the good old method of trial and error. Okay, now I've rotated it. There is a rebate in the bottom here, so I think that's going to be pretty obvious that they're the ones that go into the bottom plate there. It is not a Torx on this one, it's an Allen key fitting, so let me get that. And that is a number 5. So let's just get these in just loosely by hand first, so everything is lined up. Put my extension back on because I think I can probably still do by hand a little bit. Alrighty, let's square it back up again. So now when you lift the handle, it spins around like so, and you can see how much we're offsetting towards the middle. And then when you spin back round, it goes back square. Right, let's get the seat back on the top and see how that works. Okay, young Harry here is putting the top bolts in. These are a slightly bigger fitting. This is a 6mm Allen key rather than the 4 for the others. So just getting them in just loosely to begin with to get this lined up. Is that one biting?
No.
Okay, right, let's have a look at this a second then. So the Allen keys are coming off at a slight angle this way. So what do we need to do with the seat, do you think? Do we want to go this way or that way?
That way?
That way, yeah. So let's just give it a quick bash. There you go. Now they're a bit squarer. How's that feel?
Stronger.
Okay, right, put the ratchet on and start doing them up very gently. If it starts to go very, very stiff suddenly, then we need to stop because it means it will be cross-threaded. So as long as it's going in at a similar pressure all the way down, it's fine. Move the seat back. Okay, so you'll need to take the extension piece off to do these. Okay, so Harry here gets the first triad spin, and what we've done is on these adjusters here on the side, we've got the seat down as low as it will go because the new swivel plate, of course, is adding a bit of height to it anyway. So the travelling height there is now nice and comfortable. Right, let's see if this will rotate.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, look at that, it just goes underneath the parcel shelf there, look. This van has got the extra parcel shelf in the top and the seat just slides under. So then what I think you could probably do then, Harry, is using the adjustment at the front, you can pull yourself forward. And now that headrest isn't underneath the parcel shelf, is sort of flush there. Okay, well that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Your feet are dangling in mid-air at the moment because we haven't got the rest of the back built yet, but quite successful. And we've offset actually a good distance from the side here. So yeah, very happy with that. Right, let's move on to the driver's seat. Okay, so for the driver's seat we have disconnected the battery so that we can remove the pre-tensioner airbag attachment there. These two cables, the white and the brown, weren't actually attached to anything, so it was just the yellow one to remove. And in the Fasp pack, the bolt selection is slightly different. We've got 2 of these, and the rest are all like this. So let's get it on and see which way round this is supposed to be. Offset this round so we can see all the bolts. Okay, so what we can see now is the back 2 have a recess in them, so that's Obviously these ones are going to go in here, and the rest of the bolts are all the same to go in the other places. So let's get these bolts, the bottom ones, in first, and then see how we're looking. Okay, so the Fasp base bolted down very much in the same way as the Sportscraft, and I've got the driver's seat now back on the top. But one thing I have noticed, which I think is very, very poor, is it does come supplied with these bolts, but there's no thread. They just go straight through, and they don't supply any nuts with them either. So that's I think very, very poor. Luckily, my good old Screwfix nuts and bolts selection, I do have some nuts and washers I can use, but also after fitting all the bottom bolts, to do the back 4, I've only got 3 left, so there's 1 bolt missing from the pack as well. So what I'm going to do is reuse one of the original ones that I took out, which is that Torx bit, which also will go through the hole, and uses the same nut because it's the same size thread. So not a major crisis, but still very poor really. Right, let me get these bolts in, and we'll see how it rotates after that. Okay, now I've got all the bolts in that come supplied, apart from that missing one. Let's see how this rotates. So Harry's just going to push the lever down. Okay, right, we're stuck. What I can see is under here, the bolt that comes supplied is catching on that disc. There. I wonder if the bolts are supposed to go up, but then you wouldn't be able to slide the seat backwards and forwards. Okay, so I'm going to take all these bolts out and replace them with the original bolts with the Torx heads, because they are slightly shorter, and let's see whether that makes any difference. Okay, so now I've replaced all the bolts that were supplied with the original Torx bolts that were holding the seat down to the frame originally, and I've added some nuts and washers underneath. I've measured, and these Torx bolts are literally just 1 millimeter shorter than the bolts that came with it. So now let's see how this operates. And oh, look at that, it literally rubs across the top of that bung there, but it's working. Let me see if this now will rotate the rest of the way around. Does it miss the handbrake? Yes, it does. And then we can slide the seat back. And then on the Fasp one, the handle is underneath the seat at the front. Okay, there we go. So it's working, but a real faff with those bolts, and needing to use your own nuts and washers to fix it down. So I think that's incredibly poor on the Fasp swivel seat. In hindsight, yes, I should have gone with the masses and got a CTA, I think, but hey, you live and learn these things, don't you? But anyway, now it's in, I think I'll stick with that, because it seems to work okay, and it seems relatively smooth and easy to turn, which is what I was after in the first place. So yeah, there we go guys, hope you've enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next one.